Okay. Um, Today we're doing something a little different. Instead of this being an editing stream like I had planned, we're going to be doing some horror. A little bit about me: I hate horror games. I hate anything that has to do with horror, the horror genre, movies, games, whatever it be. I do play horror games, but it's not common. So, with that being said, we're going to be playing The Joy of Creation. A friend of mine told me to check out the demo because it's not a full game yet. So, make sure I have this pulled up. Oh, what's good, Ben? Let me fix my model real quick. There we go. Okay, there we go. Mentally prepare myself for this game. Let's try it. Oh, I want that off immediately. What did I say? It's like contemplate. Okay, that's what it says. Dot dot dot. Contemplate again. You're really thinking a surge, emergence. Hmm. Yeah. A friend of mine told me to check out this game, so that's what we're doing. Observe. A strange vision lacking description. Contemplate. Insufficient. Do it again. It didn't work. Dots against the void. Observe. World turns for me. I doubt that. Contemplate. Who put me here? God did. Observe. A path, a destination. Does this look good for you guys? It looks awesome for me. Path. There's a destination. I think my computer just crashed. Wait.
What?
Oh.
This dialogue. Something's
Oh,
wrong.
I'm gonna hate this game, aren't I? I'm gonna hate this game. What am I supposed to do? Do I click? What do I do? I walk? Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. So, okay, S is to go below. Let's see. Everything's flickering. I'm very tall. Okay, so my main thing is blinking, which is not good. Blinking red, so you know it's wrong. Wrong button. Oh, that's vicious. I grab this. Throw this in there. I do that. There we go. We got power now. Maintain the light. Make the clock go round. Now, what do I do? Oh, now these are on. What? I'm gonna go grab some water. This is gonna be a long video. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So what do I do? What was that? Nothing's like gonna jump out at me, right? I hate this game. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate this. Oh, I hate this game. Oh, oh my god. I don't even want to keep playing. Like this is not a game. This is not a game. Okay, so he's gone now. 128. Is he still there? Gone. Okay. I guess I can look around. Oh, another fuse. I guess I'll go use that. Main is getting low, so let's just change that. What was that? He's on the right side now. Or on the left. I go here. Flash. This way. God, he's hideous! What's in here? Nothing. Here. Nothing. In here? Nothing. Fuse. Let's go see. Something's definitely low. Flashlight. Okay. We'll go on the rest of it. God, this is awful. Oh, Jesus! Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no quiero jugar este juego. Qué susto. Y'all have no idea how close I ended up punching my monitor. So where, what was that? Okay, so he's on the left side? I have to go to the window. Okay, flash. Yeah, there you go. Gotcha. Let's look for another fuse. Every time he appears, that means something's wrong. What was that? No fuse. How do I fix the camera, though? Oh, I need a fuse? Okay, so I have to go get a fuse. There's one. Get back in the chair. What is that? That Foxy? Oh, you in there, alright. Alright, so you're on to my right. Good tag. So who was the one that punched out my camera then? The fuse. Who punched out my camera? I still don't know who punched out my camera. In there. He's not there. Why is my clock being weird? Oh, hello. Look him in the eyes. He hates eye contact. Oh, one more. Alright, you're back on the right. Yeah, scream at me, bro. I ain't scared of you no more. On a battery. There. 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 I don't think that was one. There's one. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out cam 1. Everything else is fine. Alright, left side. Let's get him. Boom. How many more times do I have to do this? This sucks. Yes. Switch something out.
What's that?
What is happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's that? Kill it. Kill it. There's more of them. He's not gone. There's more of them. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
No.
What? What happened?
What just happened? I was just...
No shot. Do I have to start over again? Creator.
What?
I have constructed this scenario just for you. I believe you call this a game. Oh, it's a robot. Let me try a voice. The rules shall be familiar to you. To win, find the bear and blind it. Do this until the clock completes a full rotation. Do not let the power go out. Replace the flashlight's fuse when it slides slowly. Yeah, no duh. Fox likes to sneak up on its prey. Meet its gaze from a safe place and fend it off before it catches you. Yeah, I think that's what killed me last time, right? Do not look at the rabbit. Avoid all contact. Oh, so it was Bonnie. Well, Bonnie was the one that punched my camera.
What?
I'll be watching over you. Good luck.
That's it?
I mean, I guess I survived. I survived pretty well, not knowing what I was doing. I just did what was happening. Let me go find a fuse before something happens. Oh, that was easy. Alright. Done with the camera. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. I don't like the outside one. That's not cool. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this setup's kind of fire. Hold on, can I crouch? No. Let's see if he's here. Chat, you got any tips on this game? Like, I don't want to play this game more than I have to. Oh, he's right there. So what? That's the choose? Is that the left or the right? That's the right. Flash the right side. I think I did it wrong. I did the wrong side. I just got 2 achievements. It said one of them said flash the wrong side. I think I might be cooked. I might be cooked. Yet another camera? Oh, Jesus! Okay, grab that, grab that. Go, 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 go. Placing my vents. Alright, he's on. What was that? I saw that. Okay, there we go. Oh. Oh my God. I'm okay. My heart's not racing. Yours is. Here. Let's go. Made. Oh, that was him! Oh my god. Okay, so I know where the bear is, which is fine. 35 bear. Okay, back out. Go find a fuse. Gotta replace that, camera. That was easy. I gotta charge my flashlight too. Oh no. Go, go. Try and find the bear again, and then get another fuse for my flashlight. Okay, I did it. Boom. Okay. Fuse. Use my battery. Use my battery. Oh, and my main. Oh, that means so much. Okay. Next is my main. My camera battery is fine. Okay. Fuse. Wait, I need to see if Foxy's here too. Yeah, see? Fuse. I see it! Okay. find this bear. Alright. Easy find. Yeah, I know, the light hurts, doesn't it? This sneaky little guy. Find a battery, find a battery, find a battery. Okay, there we go. Aha! We need fixing. The animations in this game are so aggressive. Oh, pirate. My eyes. Tell me what you see. Okay, he's on camera now. Yeah. You suck, you suck. Go in! I flashed Foxy already before I got ready. Should be good. Something is happening. Oh yeah, she's coming out of the ceiling. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? One. I survived the second go change out the flashlight battery.
No.
Where is this bear? I don't have battery. Oh, faster! Oh my god. No way! To do this again? Okay. The light must be aimed at the bear's location. Yeah, I've been doing that. If you miss, it'll flee. Okay. I'll be watching over you. Well, you didn't do anything. Shut up. Use first. Use over on the other side. Okay, it's in the second drawer. One in the second drawer. Everything looks good. Keep this fuse on me just in case. There you are. Get through this. Good. Let me check if it's still in the same drawer. It is. Go find Foxy. Okay, it's not there. How are you supposed to, like, defend against that? Well, I can go change it. I have a fuse. Hyper aggressive bunny, bro. Hyper aggressive. I hear something. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You're not anywhere. There you are. Left. Yeah, yell at me, whatever. Go outside, touch grass. Oh. Can I find the next one? Next one's right there. Foxy. No, he's here. Let's get out. I already forgot where the fuse was. How do you, like, protect against that? That feels so unbeatable. I have a fuse. I can go fix it. God, that guy sucks. I don't think I've ever hated a bunny more than I do this. Let's go get him. Yeah, you don't like that. Whatever. There's the next one. Go find the fox. What was that? There's the fox. Something showed up on my screen. I didn't like. Oh, my screen. Yeah, on like my actual monitor. I didn't like that. Like, please tell me I'm not going crazy. Someone else saw that. God, I'm like, my heart is racing right now. I hate this bunny, bro. Okay, whatever. Let me go fix this thing. Flashlight's almost dead too. Go charge that. Wait, nope, that was it. I gotta check. Yeah, there you go. See, I'm so glad I checked. Oh, Andy's there too. Awesome. Flashlight battery. And then I need one for camera 3 or the main. We'll find those two. Yeah, don't touch that guy. Oh, great. Where are your little gremlins? One. Two. Quick. I had one other speed thing. You couldn't just walk everywhere. Third ones. He's there. Yes. Okay. Okay, I think this is our new best. 7. I had to say something. Oh my god. What do you want to tell me? Oh my god. You don't want anything to say. Alright. Find the first 2 fuses. Alright, they're both on the other side. I'll find them later. Nothing. The other one's like right here, isn't it? Yep. God, I love process of elimination. I hear him. I heard something at least. Nah, everything's good. I'll keep this one on him. There you are. Blind you by the light. God rebuke thee. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace this. I don't think there's any use of holding on to that one when I know where the other one is. That. There was something there. I saw something move. Why are you always there? You bugged or something? God rebuke thee. Go. Like hold on to it for a bit. Okay, the other one's right there. I don't want to touch that guy. Go away. Yeah, see why I held on to it? Big brain right there. Go ahead. That one? Keep it. Okay, that's where it is. Keep this full. We'll grab the other one and start looking at it. Look for the bear. Bear. Is that him? Where is this guy? Oh my god. Oh, hi. Oh, there you are. I know where the other one is. I can reliably do this and then go get the next one and put it on main. Where you at? Where you at? And you're on the left. Find these fuses. One. Find number two. Find number two. Number two's right there. I'm gonna go switch them out. Oh my god! Okay, that's the Get him. I know that when I do this, I think Chica's gonna spawn. Not sure. No. The other one's right here. Got that. Oh, look at the next one. Okay, that's for the next one. Hunting. Do I have the time to do this? Oh wait. He's still here. There.
No.
Found you. I did it wrong. He's dead. Oxy! Just go get him. Just go get him. Go, go, go. Wait, there's one more. Go get the stupid fuses. Go get the fuses. One. Two. Main. Okay, we're all charged. We're charged. Super charged. No, I hate you! Die. Grab that. so glad I got Foxy though before this happened. Man! Still more? God. H.
No.
Oh. Find Freddy and Foxy. Freddy's right there. My Foxy. Nope. There's the other one. Main. Cameras are fine. I just knew it was their chat. Look me in the eyes. Alright. I hate you, let's die. Okay. I'm gonna do this again. There we go. 1, 2. How many of these are there? Oh, there's still more. I can hear them. Darn it! Okay. Foxy. You're someone I don't want to look at. Okay, on the right. I got you. I need fuse, I need a fuse, I need a fuse. Okay. What is that, bro? Oh my god. That's it! Oh my god, I did it!
What the hell is that? Calm down.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Dude. Walk out. Just leave. Just leave. Just leave. I don't care. I just keep walking forward? did it. Oh my god, I did it. I beat it. I beat it. I don't want to touch this game ever again.
Creator, you are getting closer.
How is any of this
The
possible?
threshold, the path. I can see the end.
What are you? What does that even mean?
You.
Blue door. Blue. To be continued. I don't even want to play this game anymore. That was horrible. Oh my god. I feel lightheaded. Oh my god. Never again. I never want to play that game again. It was fun, but like never again.